This is the Palin Update on Mama Grizzly Radio. I'm Kevin Scholla.
A liberal can attack a conservative woman, but it's a war on women if you were to question a liberal woman.
They call Sarah Palin Mama Grizzly because she's fighting for our country, our Constitution, and for us, as a mama bear would to protect her cubs. Today, we're joined by a woman who has done much of the same for decades. A special day here on Mama Grizzly Radio. Conservative icon Phyllis Schlafly is here. Sarah Palin delivers a commencement speech in Alabama, a simple message to Michelle Obama and the Hollywood elite. A brand new Commonwealth Common Sense with Susan Stimson is coming up, and just ahead our latest edition of Steel Resolve with Sarah Steelman. Welcome to our new network, Mama Grizzly Radio. The Palin Update is bigger and better than ever, and we will continue to bring you the latest news on Sarah Palin each and every week, and we will also continue to have great guests each episode. So for those of you who have listened to us for years on the other network, please make sure you head to mamagrizzlyradio.com so you won't miss a thing. And follow us on Twitter at Mama Grizz Radio. Also like Mama Grizzly Radio on Facebook. And we have a new segment starting up on the show next week. It'll be for a limited time, but some very exciting stuff is on the way. Now we welcome in a woman that really needs no introduction, but we're going to intro her anyway. Phyllis Schlafly has been a national leader of the conservative movement since her huge 1964 book, A Choice, Not an Echo. She has been an outspoken advocate for the family, and ever since 1972, she's been running her national volunteer organization, Eagle Forum, which is still going strong today. Phyllis Schlafly, it is an honor to have you here on the Palin Update on Mama Grizzly Radio. Welcome.
Hello, Kevin. Good to talk to you.
You know, Sarah Palin is known as the Mama Grizzly, and she has really brought to light issues you've been fighting for so long. So is it fair to name you maybe the Grand Mama Grizzly?
That's okay. I'm an admirer of Sarah Palin.
What do you think of Governor Palin's approach to keeping the conservative movement on the fast track? And do you see big things for her in the future?
Well, she's quite a celebrity, and I think it's very helpful when she goes to speak at various Republican affairs. I think that's a great help. That's something that she can do, and she brings in the crowd, and they like to see her, and she's a good speaker, and so we're very happy about her contribution to the cause.
What about conservatism today? Where do we stand? You've been on the front lines for so long, fighting for our values and for common sense. Are you optimistic here in 2014?
Well, I'm always optimistic because, like Reagan, I see the shining city on the hill and it's morning in America. However, I can tell you as I go around the country that conservatives are very depressed. They think that Obama's taken us down a dead-end road, that there may not be any turning back. And I think it's very important that people get back their optimism and their hope for the future, and they're willing to work to get us there.
Your list of accomplishments is so long, we could talk for days, so this may be a very difficult question.
That's because I've lived longer than you have.
There you go. So this may be a bit of a difficult question, but if you had to rattle off a thing or two, what would you say you're most proud of when it comes to the promotion of conservative causes?
Well, I think the nuclear family is absolutely essential to everything we want in the conservative ideology. It's necessary to limited government. It's necessary to self-respect. It's necessary to everything that we've won and gained in this country. And I think I have stood for keeping the traditional family. The honor to the full-time homemaker. We give a full-time homemaker award every year, and it's also an example of how women can be successful. You know, it's one of the dogmas of the feminist movement that women are so oppressed by the patriarchy, and it's impossible for them to be successful in this discriminatory society. And that's so unfortunate. If you wake up in the morning with that kind of attitude, you're not going to accomplish anything.
You know, with Mother's Day coming up, you've done so much to highlight and commend the homemaker, the stay-at-home mom, something we need more of, especially when liberals frown upon the hardest job in the world so often.
Yes, they're very demeaning of the full-time homemaker, and she is essential. But the trouble is, a lot of the policies that the liberals have put through have helped to really get rid of the full-time homemaker. For example, free trade is just one of the biggest enemies of the full-time homemaker, because they've shipped all those good blue-collar jobs overseas, forced Americans to compete with cheap labor in Asia and so forth. And I built my organization with full-time homemakers who were willing to devote volunteer hours to participate in politics and do good for our country. And they're just not around anymore. They've all had to go take some tacky job because their husband lost his good job.
What's your advice to young people now who are just starting out or just getting involved, say, in their communities and the political process?
Well, if I'm talking to a guy, I tell him, just verify that your girlfriend is not a feminist. Don't marry a feminist or you're not going to be happy. And I tell them, if you're not sure whether she's a feminist or not, just ask her how she feels about Phyllis Schlafly, and you'll find out. Because they look upon me as the enemy.
Sure.
And again, I point out that they don't believe women can be successful. And you never hear them talking about Sarah Palin, who, whether you like her or not, she is a big success. She's got a neat husband, she's got a nice family, and she's been successful in politics. And what more do you want? And she's an example. There are all kinds of successful women, and I feel I've been successful in what I've done. And they just tell women, you wake up in the morning, you're oppressed by the patriarchy, and you cannot be successful.
I got a chance to see you at CPAC this year. It was such a thrill to say hello and meet you there. Did anyone at the conference stand out to you, or who in particular today in the conservative movement is getting it right, in your opinion?
Well, I think Sarah Palin gets it right, for one. But I think Ted Cruz is getting it right, and he's a fighter. You need to be a fighter in politics. And so there are a lot of good people in the conservative movement, but it's a constant fight. Somebody said it's a contact sport.
Yeah, collision sport, right? Eagle Forum, still going strong. How have you kept it up all these years? It's such a respected institution now.
Well, the big thing that we took on originally was defeating the Equal Rights Amendment, which was such a fraud. And that took 10 years. So in that 10 years, we built up a fine organization with chapters in every state. And then we found there were other dragons to slay. So we went after a lot of other things. We were very big in the education field, trying to maintain parental control of education. And then I think the biggest scandal in our country is the fact that they let kids go through all these years in school and don't teach them how to read. The illiteracy in our country is just shocking. And so I taught all my children how to read. So I have 6 children, whom I'm very proud of. And I taught them how to read before I let them go into any school. And they've all been very successful. And that's what I urge people to do. And the book that I used for my children, the establishment, went out of print. And so then I had to write my own. So I have a wonderful phonics book to teach kids to read called First Reader. And I urge every parent to do that if you want your kid to be smart.
You know, I read that about you the other day, and I just thought that was so impressive. And, you know, with my daughter in kindergarten now and my son is 3, it's just very inspiring that you did that, and it does make a lot of sense. Now, I don't know who's done more for constitutional conservatism than yourself, and it's so impressive how you keep it going each and every day. Is it your love of country that still drives you?
Yes, it is, and really a determination to do whatever I can and fulfill the mission the Lord has for my life. And I've been a very hard worker. You know how I worked my way through college working on the night shift, 40 hours a week. I think it was 48 hours a week. It was 6 days. And as a gunner, testing 30 and 50 caliber ammunition in the largest ammunition plant in the world. And I went to college in the morning. I worked half the time 3 to midnight, and the other half midnight to 8 in the morning, and then went to college in the morning. And so I've been a hard worker all my life, and the idea that these opportunities are not available to women is just nuts, because I got my bachelor's degree in 1944 and my master's from Harvard Graduate School in 1945. My mother got a couple of her degrees in 1920. So what are they griping about? Those opportunities were there if you wanted to take them.
You know, people talk about you as a great thinker and writer and just a great American, all true, but I really admire you as a great broadcaster. Your work at CBS and WBBM was done at a time when there were a lot of changes going on in this country, and you were able to come back with thoughtful, conservative commentary. And as a radio guy, I really appreciate that, and I admire you for that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I was 5 years on CBS Spectrum, and they had 2 liberals, 2 moderates, and 2 conservatives, and it was a lot of fun. I'd drive down to KMOX every week and record my pieces.
Sarah Palin is showing people that you can do it all, be that great mother and wife, and have other successes. You did that. As you mentioned, all of your kids, highly successful people, you and your husband as well, but it seems family always came first, even with all the busy schedules.
Well, that's right, and it sure is nice to have a helpful husband. Of course, the feminists are teaching young women men are not necessary. We can get along without them, and I think that's a big part of the drive that's going on today. And it's just very unfortunate, the women who are having children without husbands, and then the answer is they turn to Big Brother government to help them.
Now, as far as today, where can people find out what you're up to? EagleForum.org?
Right. Oh, yeah, I have a wonderful website, Best in the Conservative Movement, EagleForum.org. And it's a gold mine of information of all the stuff I've written on a lot of subjects. You know, I wrote for many years on the strategic balance and on the Soviet missile threat, and we need an anti-missile force now. That's one of the things that Obama's taken away from us. And I think we need people to obey the Constitution the way it was written. You know, the Constitution says the job of the president is to take care that the laws be faithfully executed. And he's just bragged that he can use his pen to not obey laws that he doesn't like, and to create new laws, although the Constitution says all legislative powers in the Congress.
And very brazen about it. Luckily, we have people like you who are brazen about the right things. Mrs. Schlafly, thank you so much. An honor to speak with you. You're a true American hero for the steadfast commitment you've had standing up for our Constitution and our people. And God bless you, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. God bless you, and have a good day.
What a great day to have Mrs. Schlafly here. For more on Phyllis Schlafly, head to EagleForum.org.